661 teams tipped off the girls' Class A basketball season, and tonight only 6 teams remain in the championship quest. The final 2 quarterfinal games are headed your way here on the IHSA television network. The afternoon sessions in the Class A basketball tournament are in the girls' history book. Tonight, we take a look at 4 more contenders to try to get into the Final 4. One of those teams has already won 2 state champions. The other team that starts off the first quarterfinal game tonight has never been here before. To help you set the stage, here is Ann Penstone and Bernie Chero. Ladies.
Thanks a lot, Jim. It's always a pleasure to work with you. And with me, Bernie Chero, the coach of Normal West, and she's no stranger to this Redbird Arena floor. You know, we have those 2 games this afternoon, and if tonight is anything like this afternoon, we are in for a treat. 2-point, 3-point games. Number 1, Chicago Hope comes through, and Hampshire avenges what they felt was a subpar performance last year to get through. But there are 2 more tickets to punch. Iroquois West, Gilman, who has never played before, and Okawville, who, as we know, has 2 state championships to their name.
You know, both teams are coming in ready to play. They had excellent regular seasons, and they both want to show a good job tonight, a good showing tonight.
Well, it takes 5 games to get here to the Elite 8. Let's take a look at the road each of these teams travel. First for Iroquois West. As you see, they went through Kankakee McNamara, and Normal U High was probably the favorite, but Bloomington Central Catholic beat them, and upsetting them, Iroquois West. On the other side, on the home team, Okawville, Sparta, Nashville, and Metropolis. You don't see the Freeburg game where they had to do a 20-3 run to get back to win that game. And of course, Nashville, a perennial contender here as well. Well, you got to talk about star searches. Who do we have for both teams, Bernie?
You know, as we look at, first of all, for Okawville, Iroquois West, Rachel Schleif. She is a senior guard. Her season stats are outstanding. She gets 13 points a game. She shoots 46%. Excellent 3-point shooter, a good perimeter shooter. Then we take a look at Okawville for Bethany Bornpool. She is a junior forward, and she shoots 500%. Free throw shooter, 70%. What can you say?
You know, Bernie, every coach puts a couple things up on the blackboard, usually 2 or 3, and these are what we call the keys to the game. What are both teams saying to their squad before this match?
As we look at the keys for the game for Iroquois West, I think the 4th quarter is critical. They have not come into the 4th quarter losing, and they need to do that today. They said if they could get and hold their opponents down to 30% in shooting, they'll be fine. Sophomore jitters, they have 2 sophomores in Coulter and Schmidt. They need to limit their turnovers.
Kind of an interesting situation, because Iroquois West has not only never been here before, but no team in the history of their school has been past the regionals in any sport. What kind of effect might that have on the community?
Well, I think that, you know, anytime we can do something with basketball, they're going to be psyched and ready to go. As we look for Okawville, their keys to the game will be perimeter play, their guard play. You know, I talked to Coach, and she said, we have great guard play, but we're going to have to counter their guard play. Pound the ball inside. I have 2 6-foot post players. Let's use them. Let's push the ball inside. Definitely control the boards.
Well, they've certainly had a great second half of the season, and we're looking forward to a great first game this evening. We'll be back with these local messages. There you have the shot of Redbird Arena on the campus of Illinois State University, where we're all ready for game number 3, quarterfinal 3 of 4, Gilman, Iroquois West at Okawville. Let's take a look at where these teams are located in the great state of Illinois. Gilman, you see, is very close to normal and didn't have to travel so far, and Okawville down from Southern Illinois. An all-state event. Here we go, and now let's go to our national anthem. So let's get our officials first. And they as well have been awarded the honor of being here. There are 3 officials for tonight's game. They look pretty relaxed. David Schuck, Steven Scrontz, and Eugene Brenning. I'm sure the butterflies are going a little bit for them as well. The officiating here at this tournament has been terrific. They've let them play, called the things that have affected the play, but you don't notice them, and that's the greatest compliment for any official. The crowd's filling in here tonight. And now it's time for our national anthem. Let's go to our PA announcer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, will you all please rise and honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's guest soloist is Nick Nolte, a senior at Decatur Eisenhower High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nick Nolte from Decatur Eisenhower High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the players and coaches for our first quarterfinal game of the evening between the Raiders of Gilman Iroquois West High School and the Lady Rockets of Okawville High School. First, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the non-starters for Iroquois West. A 5'3" junior, number 40, Lindsay Ryan. A 5'6" sophomore, number 20, Michelle Kading. A 5'6" senior, number 54, Courtney Zick. A 5'9" sophomore, number 32, Jay Schmid. A 5'8" sophomore, number 33, Laura McElroy. A 5'8" sophomore, number 35, Lindsay Blair. A 5'8" senior, number 44, Karen Wagner. And a 5'7" sophomore, number 45, Kylie Christ. And now, let's meet the non-starters from Okawville High School. A 5'8" senior, number 20, Nicole Heckert. A 5'5" sophomore, number 21, Nicole Ostendorf. A 5'4" sophomore, number 22, Renee Krieger. A 5'11" junior, number 23, Kristen Beening. A 5'7" senior, number 24, Megan Heckert. A 5'6" junior, number 25, Holly McCauley. A 5'9" sophomore, number 30, Erin Schubert. A 5'7" freshman, number 31, Tiffany Bloomhorst. A 5'9" sophomore, number 33, Janelle Kuhn. And a 5'8" freshman, number 42, Amy Albers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the starting lineups for tonight's game. For Iroquois West, at guard, 5'6" and a junior, number 12, Stacy Kading. For Okawville, at guard, a 5'6" senior, number 12, Katie Hasshider. For Iroquois West, a 5'10" freshman, make that a sophomore, number 14, Brooke Coltra. For Okawville, a 5'10" junior, number 32, Erin Albers. For Iroquois West, a 5'7" senior, number 23, Rachel Schleif. For Okawville, a 5'6" junior, number 34, Caitlin Lake. For Iroquois West, a 5'8" junior, number 24, Erica Leidens. For Okawville, a 6-foot junior, number 35, Bethany Bornpole. For Iroquois West, a 5'9" senior, number 30, Care Sebring. And for Okawville, a 6'1" freshman, number 41, Jill Wolf. The Raiders bring a 31-2 record into the contest under head coach Hans Meyer. He's assisted by Wendy McCann and Ginger Schmid. The Lady Rockets bring a 23-10 record into tonight's contest and are coached by Kathy Lanter. She's assisted by Norm McCauley and Eric Helbig.
There you see Kathy Lanter, the young woman has brought 17 times she's coached and 6 times she's been here on the floor, 2 state championship trophies and a couple others. Here are your starting lineups matched up. Bernie, we've got the big kids inside for Okawville, the 2 6-footers, and we got a 5'9" senior who's going to have to contain them inside for Iroquois West.
And you know, as I mentioned early in the game, Kathy says they're playing a little different style this year. They want to pound it inside.
They're really playing with 3 guards, although they're listed as a forward. And we're about ready for action and game number 3. Again, Okawville 23-10, but playing very, very well here in the latter part of the season, as you have to, and this is the time you want to peak. Iroquois West making the first ever appearance in a state tournament by any team in any sport for their school. And we're just about ready to tip it up. White will be Okawville. They will be the home, the Lady Rockets. In the dark blue will be Iroquois West.
It'll be interesting to see how Iroquois West starts off, because they've come into this game barely beating Central Catholic and then barely beating Kankakee Mac.
What's kind of interesting, you talked about, they had a 20-point differential in opponent scoring by the end of the season, but it was a lot tighter early.
But you know, once you hit this floor, what happened prior to hitting this floor, it doesn't matter, because it's state tournament time.
Well, you got the Jill Wolf, the freshman.
How fun is that?
No, I know. Can you believe she's looking around like, no big deal, I've done this before. And Bethany Barnpool. And we are underway. Okawville has it. And only senior on this squad is Katie Hasshider. She runs the offense right away into Barnpool, who takes it left side up and good.
Nice move by Barnpool. Excellent steps through. Dominating the lane already. We like that.
Well, they clearly want to take charge in there. We didn't know they were going to go zone or man. Okawville opens up in a zone.
She said she wanted to really control the perimeter and to try and limit their perimeter shooting, force them to work the ball inside.
Kading on top, runs the show, and Schleif has been the big star. She owns every record pretty much in the school's history. Put it from the outside, a rebounded, touched around, and outside quickly to Hasshider, and down to Barnpool. Oh, open. Erin Albers wanted it bad on the left side.
She was smart to pull up.
Oh, nice step.
Nice step.
Barnpool. She did a great ball fake and then spun through, did a great job.
She came ready to play. I mean, she's touched the ball twice. She scored twice.
Makes you look like a genius keying on her, doesn't it, Marty? Outside cross, skip pass across, Kading with it.
Good double team.
And there's a scramble for the ball. Hossider has it. We'll have a jump ball, and possession should stay here with Iroquois West since Okawville had the initial tip-off, and they do.
I really feel a lot of tenacity from Okawville right now.
Oh, nice pass underneath. And 2 points.
That was an excellent feed.
Hossider calling number 2 and walks it right up over the Redbird. Swings it to the right side. Posting up is Jill Wolf asking for the ball. It's kind of a nice 1-2 punch high-low. So far it's been all Barnpool. Now it goes to Wolf. She turns, shoots, and she gets the roll and a foul.
You know, keep in mind, she's a freshman. Very solid post move. Sat on her defender. Squared up, sat, kept the ball up, had excellent position and forced the ball inside. Used the backboard.
Off the back of the rim, rebounded by Cultra, who brings it down left-handed, looking for somebody open. Okawville back very quickly on defense, and there's that tenacity you were talking about early. There's a 6-2 Okawville lead here early in the first quarter. Third quarterfinal game here tonight of 2 barn burners earlier today. I tell you, I think those white jerseys make Okawville look even bigger than they are.
You know, that was a great defensive positioning because they came in to help side and really force some pressure to try and kick that ball back outside.
Schleif will key it from the left side. Skip pass to Kading, dribbles right. Hawked by Hossider. Double team at the top now. Leaving open Coulter, but a fingertip is stopped, and we're going to get a bucket that's going to go, and that's going to be Erica Leidens with a bucket.
And a foul. Erica, you know, she beat through the double team, and they did do a little pressure and tip the pass, but it just wasn't enough, and she grabbed the ball inside and was fouled from behind.
So 6-4, creeping back come the Raiders of Iroquois West, and a chance to bring it within 1. Again, back off the rim, jump ball. We're going to get a foul. Kind of a tough foul on the rebound.
Boy, that was tough. I really didn't have a very good, you know, look from this position, but it looked like a clean grab. But
Erin Alba's charged with her first, team second. And again, Schleif keys it, looks for Cultra, nobody open.
Great defense.
Oh, Hossider had a good cover on the passing lane. Kading way out front, drawing the defense out, moved by Cultra, and
they called that on Barnpool, and I was just getting ready to tell you, watch our Barnpool, Bethany Barnpool plays defense with her hands and her feet, constantly moving in the passing lane, limiting the amount of passing lane that's available to Iroquois West.
She picks her first, team's third, and it stays here with Iroquois West. His hands are always active. Down deep and kick back out. Not much room down there in the baseline. Nice pass.
That was a great pass by the Raiders. Sebring really split the defender and was able to just catch that nice bounce pass.
With that bucket, Kara Sebring ties it up. And a quick steal. Here comes Schleif down the right side. Spin move, up, and off the rim, rebounded by Barnpool, the ever-present. Long pass, Hossider sees Jill Wolf, unable to contain it, and that picked back up. So a little erratic here all of a sudden up and down the floor.
I kind of like the style of play because both teams are trying to push the limits. The Raiders really want to try and run the floor a little bit, and the Rockets are trying to do the same.
Oh, nice rebound. Oh, good luck. Schleif a little bit short. Gets her own, can't
she
save
needs
it.
to use her left hand. Coach is having a fit. You're on that left side, use your left hand.
I want to remind you that this IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick.
First trip down to the state tournament. Well, it's obviously been pretty exciting, but we don't really know what it's like. That's why we got out of town, so we wouldn't find out and get the full brunt of it. But I'm sure things are pretty pumped up. We actually tried to kind of keep things toned down a little bit because our boys are playing for the regional championship Friday night, and we want to make sure that we are enthusiastically supporting them.
The tale of two cities, Iroquois West and Okawville. You see the population's a little bit bigger for Iroquois West, here closer to normal. And their counties, enrollment pretty even. Sangamon Valley Conference and the Independent Conference well represented here at Redbird Arena in this quarterfinal matchup. 4:49 left in the first quarter, and it's all tied up 6 apiece. And it's been a pretty good pace here so far, Bernie.
I think so. You know, it would seem that both teams are just trying to feel each other out a little bit to see what they're going to toss.
Caitlin Lake had keyed it up, brought it to Hossider. Now she's got it back on the left side, looking for the dump inside to Barnpool. And
that was a nice give and go.
Very well run.
Nice give and go. Caitlin Lake really made that happen.
We have a substitution after the timeout for Iroquois West. That's Lindsay Ryan, number 40, into the ballgame as Hossider looks for opening, but Iroquois West back quickly on defense. Tell you, they have not found an answer for Barnpool, and if they can go inside out like that, and rebound by Ryan.
Well, keep an eye again on Jill Wolf, the freshman. She's taking so much presence up inside the lane, both defensively and rebounding-wise.
That ball off and tipped out nicely. Hossider with good speed, trying to catch up as Coulter, the sophomore. Hossider, probably not the foul you want to get on that.
No, you can tell she's not too happy about that.
I don't think the coach was either.
Great penetration as she goes down the floor. A little bit of a reach from behind. Slow to defend that.
You get frustrated when you lose that ball, and you just want to make up for it quickly. And in for Okawville, Janelle Kuhn, 33, the 5'9" sophomore. She's a funny gal. She tells me that they're all comedians on this team and that they're here to have a good time and that they can dance to anything from hip hop to polka.
There you go.
And the way they came out intensely, they must have been playing some kind of music. Off the right side to Schleif. She's looking inside. Very big disadvantage in size for Iroquois West.
Rachel's definitely the playmaker.
Going for 3, that Schleif bounces in and out, nice rebound. Oh, stolen away by Kuhn, who just entered the ball game. Hossider looks for an opening. Wolf down quickly, and she's going to get the ball.
That was an excellent pass by Katie Hossider.
Hossider is the only senior on this team that plays with significant minutes, and she did come down here as a freshman.
As a freshman. She started as a freshman for that state tournament team, championship team.
She's fun as an interview. She's an outstanding interview, very, very poised. Said, I've got a different role this year. Now I have to be the leader. That foul's going to be called on number 41, Jill Wolf, her first. They have 4 team fouls, but they're spread out amongst 4 people. And that puts number 32, Jay Schmidt, into the ball game at the line. And she'll shoot 2. She's been very active on the board since her entrance. That ball's good. Okawville with a 4-point lead. Iroquois West trying to cut into that. And she does, makes them both. 2 points for Jay Schmidt at the foul line. 11-8, Okawville and Penstone along with Bernie Chero here at Redbird Arena. 3rd quarterfinal game with 2:59 left in quarter number 1. Okawville so far having their way inside.
Wolf has such a great post move there. She's set up both sides, and they're missing her.
Barnpool being hawked by Coulter. That's kind of a nice matchup. Oh, nice rebound by Coulter. Let's see what happens on the exchange. I think there's going to be a foul called on Okawville, and it's going to go against 32, Erin Albers.
They're calling the game, reasonably tight. I think they're going after some loose ball fouls just to try and make sure that they control what's actually happening on the floor.
No problem for Coach Lander. She just sends a Albers for an Albers. In comes Amy for sister Erin. And we're 32 and 42. 42 now in the ball game. As Ryan brings the ball up against Hossider. Coulter looks for the opening. Not a lot of movement right now.
No, they're a little confused with this 1-3-1. They need to set up, you know, something maybe guard to guard, and there you go in a high post. Once you go guard to guard, high post and in.
You're looking at 2 6-footers when you get to the free throw line. That's a little intimidating. Sebring, number 30, is their center at 5'9".
Another loose ball foul. But I think if they can attack the 1-3-1 with a guard to guard baseline and in somehow, they'll be okay. But they have to read that.
That foul's on Carrie Sebring, her second, team's third. And gives Okawville the ball back with a 3-point advantage.
Looks like Okawville's been here quite a bit. 6th appearance.
2 state championships, a second and a third. The only thing they don't have is a fourth, and I don't think that's what they're going for this weekend.
No, they want to be in the championship game.
There's our dancer, Janelle Kuhn, with the bucket. Now a little bit of full court pressure by Hossider. Schleif has it, playmaker on the right side. Kicks it back out to Ryan and across court. They do an awful lot of skip passing across this pretty big zone, Bernie.
Well, and that's how they're trying to attack it, and it's okay to go guard to guard, but they have to choose the side first and then go baseline and in.
Oh, we're going to have a little bit of time in there. Yep, she was in the tall
you know, I'll tell
trees.
you what, you know, the Rockets are playing great defensively. I mean, if you watch the passing lanes, they're not giving up much space for you to pass the ball. So either you have to do it with a penetration dribble or some type of offensive cut or offensive change of direction.
Well, they are really taking up space in the lane. There's no place to go. Outside, all the way.
That's NBA.
The ball comes down to the hands of the Raiders, and looking down the court is Ryan. She gives it off to Coulter. It goes right up the middle. And now we're going to get a little reach foul. We had an awful lot of reaching fouls at the top of the key here so far in this game, and that's going to go against Hossider.
Coach Lantner is not happy. She's putting her hands up and asking, wait, why, how?
Explain to me. Ball on the baseline to Ryan, open for a second. Now she dribbles the deep baseline and does not get the roll. And we're going to have a foul. So far, we've had an awful lot of fouls called in this first quarter.
Yeah, I'm really surprised because, again, most of them are loose ball fouls.
A little bit of nerves, maybe. Trying to make sure that the game is under control. And you can see the scoring highs and lows. 84 for a high against Hoopston East Lynn, and then 39 versus Prairie Central Fairbury on November 22nd. So, well, you know, take a look the way you want it to be. In November, you score low, but by January, you got it rolling.
That's what you would like to have happen, absolutely.
Right down the middle. Albers.
Nice.
Oh. Jill Wolf. That's her 6th point.
She doesn't play like a freshman.
No, she does
and
not.
she doesn't look like a freshman. But again, look at the hands and the feet in the passing lanes, making it very, very difficult for them to see. And then they're, you know, having to force up shots. That's a great rebound. That's a great rebound basket.
Jay Schmid with the rebound, weak side putback, and she's going to get a chance.
You know, she's come off the bench and she's done quite a bit. She already has 6 points. And, you know, Coach had talked quite a bit about her contribution, you know, throughout the tournament. And he felt she, as being one of the sophomores, really is going to have to control some of the jitters that, you know, he was concerned about her having, because she's also started throughout the season, and he rotates.
Well, and Jay Schmidt has had some of the very crucial baskets on the way to this tournament as well.
She scored the winning basket against Central Catholic.
Get some substitutions along the way. Back in the ball game is Stacy Kading for the Raiders. And that was a big foul against Okawville, because that was 2 on Barnpool. Now Coot bring it out. They got 30 seconds. They're trying to waste a little time with the lead. They can pull out Iroquois West. Looks like that's what they're trying to make a matchup man. There's Jill Deep. Inside, outside, little dance in there. 18 seconds to play in the quarter. They've got a 4-point lead. That 3-point play cut in significantly. It was a big play to date. Hossider looks like she's going to go one-on-one. And nice inside goes the Wolf. Oh!
You know, and Hossider made that happen. She is such an excellent ball handler. She penetrated through the defense and allowed herself an excellent passing angle and just pushed the ball inside. And a post catches it and scores. Can't beat that.
Well, her teammate just gave her a pat. You bet. Here's that pass from Hossider into Wolf. Splits the D and banks it off the glass. Gives him a 6-point lead after 1 quarter. There you have it. We'll be back after this local break. Iroquois West a 6-point deficit to Okawville, who's been here 6 times before, as we get ready for quarter number 2. See the Raiders of Iroquois West in their patriotic red, white, and blue. They're on a 7-game win streak. Started on February 1st versus Moments with a 10-point victory.
You know what, Ann? Rachel Schleif has to score. She hasn't scored yet, and I think that's going to be a critical thing the next time she has the possession. She needs to do something as a senior to get some type of momentum going and score.
And she's had 2 or 3 good looks. They're just not dropping so far. And they're only getting 1 shot. A lot of perimeter here. Kuhn making it move. Hossider's now moved to the side. Takes the dribble, kick back. Oh. And rebounded nicely by Iroquois West. Coulter with the ball, looking down, getting back well as Okawville, but she goes all the way to the hoop and is going to draw the foul. That's coast to coast.
There just seems to be a sense of, I don't know, you know, they just can't find an offense that's working for them or clicking. They're trying to push the ball down the floor, but it's not happening.
As you look at Kathy Lander shaking her head, doesn't agree with that. They're on a 5-game win streak, and they also started on the 1st, of course, which is when the regionals begin.
I think Kathy's concerned because they're getting, you know, fairly close to the double bonus, and it's awful early for that.
They are very close. Just 2 fouls to go, and they've doubled the number of team fouls for Iroquois West, so that's got to be a concern for her. But the biggest concern, I think, is that Barnpool has 2 of those. Puts them both in and brings it back to a 4-point lead as Kuhn brings the ball down. Janelle Kuhn, just a sophomore, 8.5 points per game. Hossider looking, kicks it deep, and now back into Wolf, who right off her fingertips and recovered by Coulter. Looks down, she's got Schleif, and she holds up. And it's tipped from Hossider, gets it back, and now she's got Schleif. If she could can this, it'd be a big
There you
boom.
go. And that's exactly what she needed to do. I mean, she needs to score, and I think that's going to be a big momentum boost for them.
2-pointer. 1-point lead by Okawville. Hossider thought about it. Now Kuhn rotates over. Goes to the hole, puts it up, and we're going to get a blocking foul on Coulter.
I'm really impressed with the Rockets because they're very, very young. You have a lot of freshmen and sophomores out on the floor, and underclassmen that are playing, you know, in a varsity state tournament game and really knowing exactly where everybody is out on the floor.
You're absolutely right. They are very young. I think, you know, when you've got a tradition going, though, when you're right, it makes a big difference.
And they don't have a volleyball program at that school, and so the girls actually play basketball all fall and throughout the summer. So there isn't a whole lot of competition with volleyball there.
See Hans Meyer demonstrating exactly what he wanted. Pretty animated coach over there as Kuhn rims that one in and out. Into the game for Okawville is Kristen Benning, her first appearance, and stolen by Hossider. Here comes Coulter again. Now this is a replay of the last one. She tries to go for it again, and she does the same thing as it picks up the foul.
Now, you know what? Coach had said,
we cannot turn the ball over. My sophomores cannot turn the ball over. I'm concerned about that. And you could see in the replay, she turns the ball over and then she makes a huge mistake. She fouls. That's number 3. And you're in the second quarter. And, you know, coach is like, now I got to take you out of the game.
Outsider will shoot 2. You see her free throw percentage, pretty hefty, 70%.
And as a coach, a foul is a turnover to us. Once you turn the ball over and then you foul, that's another turnover. It's kind of like a double negative. He's talking to her about it.
Yeah. I wish she could have talked about it before she did. Katie Hossider cans them all. And they go up by 4 again. Ryan brings it down against this zone. They really use their hands well and use that skip pass inside, puts it up. Oh! Schmidt a little bit short on that one. Hossider, nice bounce pass inside. We've got a lot of body contact, and that's going to go. It's almost shooting 2. I thought he was indicating offensive for a minute. Carrie Sebring. So the problem for Iroquois West is they have 7 fouls,
right,
but 2 kids with 3.
2 key players.
Their starting center and their big sophomore
Hans
forward.
Meyer is asking the question, you know, explain it to me. Because, you know, as a coach, again, you want to tell your kids what they're doing wrong so that maybe they could correct that.
Amy Albers makes the first, looking for the second. And it's good. Smooth as silk. 6-point lead, all of a sudden ballooning out. And Iroquois West with some serious foul trouble here pretty early in the second quarter. 6 minutes to go still in the first half. Double teamed up top.
They're double teaming down low also. It's extremely difficult.
Ryan thought about it, hesitated. I think probably would have had a better shot if she'd taken it the first time she looked. Now it's Hossider. Getting back quickly is Iroquois West. Nice crossover, and kicks it back. Kuhn for 3, and it rims out.
It's extremely difficult to attack against this defense when you come down the middle of the floor. She has to pick a side so that she can shift the defense. See, she's going right into the defender.
It's tough to penetrate the quickness and the size.
And that's a turnover, and that's what he's talking about. He's going to want a timeout.
And we're going to get a timeout. You're absolutely right. Hans Meyer wants to talk to his Raiders in red, white, and blue. As you look at Katie Hossider going to the sidelines with the lead, 24-16. It's all Okawville right now. Let's go back. We'll be back after these messages. There's your score as you look at some of the Raider fans from Iroquois West. With an 8-point deficit, but no shortage of enthusiasm from them here in Redbird Arena. Their painted faces, and this is what high school basketball is all about.
It's so fun to see so many high school kids here, and we've seen that all day. The lower bowl has just been packed.
Now these stats that you're seeing at the team comparisons are through the season, and not certainly right now, and they're pretty even.
You know, you basically, I think, depending upon the type of defense you see or go up against, your scoring average, it looks like, you know, they match up pretty well.
The big difference, Iroquois West, with that 20-point differential between their scoring and their opponent's scoring. But right now, the deficit's on the wrong side as far as they're concerned.
Right.
And part of our band entertaining us here. There's a competition to get here as well. The IHSA Awards. Great musical performance as well. One of the other activities, the other half of education. Let's see what Hans Meyer wanted to do coming out of the break. I don't think he wanted that spacing. Having all kinds of trouble with Okawville's size. Benning with her first shot comes off. Here she's going to take it again from outside, and she puts down a 3. Kristen Benning, the 5'11 junior, for 3. And all of a sudden, we've got a double-digit lead for Okawville.
Now, take a look. Okawville changed their defense a little bit to 2-3 coming out of that timeout, showing a little bit of a mix.
Schleif tries again off the rim. She just can't find the bottom of that rim. Nice hesitation by Hossider, and good getting back by Iroquois West, who took away the lane she wanted.
I think also one of the keys that we're seeing is that we're seeing Iroquois West put up 1 shot and no offensive boards.
Well, that penetration against the zone, they're ending up against people that are 4 and 5 inches tall.
Yes,
There, bending again
yes.
from the left side. Gosh, it doesn't matter to her. Those are backbreakers.
Yes. A little bit of pressure here.
And she had plenty of time to measure it as well out there with everybody down on the right side. Ryan inside to Sebring.
It's almost like they're standing not knowing where to go. They need to cut a little bit, make some seams instead of standing and waiting for the pass.
Ryan, nice move in the baseline. Sebring trying to get the rebound, but again, she's giving up 5 and 6 inches against.
And they haven't scored in a while.
Oh,
Big time travel.
got a little excited there. She was going to the hoop for sure, but she forgot to take the basketball with her.
Now this is a critical possession because it's going to allow, if they don't score, it's going to allow the Rockets to really pull away, and they have to find a way to score.
And this double team everywhere on the floor has really been effective.
I mean, they're so big. They're just changing the way they're shooting and everything.
They've altered every facet of
Yes.
the game for Iroquois West.
Yes.
You know, they're an outstanding team. Kathy Lander's got to be pleased as she looks at this. She had no idea that her team would come out this calm or poised because, as we mentioned, they're very, very young. Hossider with the ball is the only senior that starts. But one of the things that happens too, here's Benning again from 3-point range.
Wow.
She is, she's in a zone.
She's laughing like, wow, this is great.
If she goes and shrugs her shoulders and throws up her hands, well, no, Michael's
What can
changed
you say?
uniforms.
That's right. 3 for 7 on the
Yeah.
3-point line.
Drive by
As a
Erica
team.
Leidens is going to draw the foul.
She's not necessarily a 3-point shooter, but she is tonight. 3 for 4 from the field goal arena, but all 3 points. 3-point shooting.
I'll tell you what, they could be getting a hand in her face because she's just dead-eye out there. Leidens off the side for the first of 2.
I really like the way we're seeing the Rockets substitute. You don't see, you know, a whole lot of, you know, you don't miss a whole lot when they take somebody out, put somebody in. There's not a big difference, and somebody comes out and somebody steps up, and that's a great team play. She said they could go 7 or 8 deep if they have to.
Well, you know, they had Hossider hurt early in the year, and I think, oh, we got bodies all over the floor. We're going to get a foul. This one's going to be called on Erin Albers, who kind of laughed. She's like, I just got into the ballgame, and I get called for the foul, which is her 3rd, by the way.
Is it on Erin or Amy?
I believe it's on Erin. We'll see. It's on Erin.
Okay.
They could try to pass it off and get on
Give
each
it to
other.
her sister. Again, another loose ball kind of deal.
Kind of looked like dominoes there. They one fell and they all went down.
They're all making the faces like, oh.
Well, regardless, it's Schleif on the line, and you talked about her scoring, and she has 2. That is well below her scoring average of 13.
Yes. And I mean, you know, she's 1 for 6, but she's not even getting shots off. And I really think that the critical key right here for the Raiders is that they have no offensive pattern. They have no offensive teamwork. Things aren't working. You can watch them stand. They've got their hands up waiting for the ball. Nobody's making anything happening. They don't create. They have to create something.
Rachel Schleif's got to be thinking, who put the lid on this hoop? She can't get those free throws in either, and she's a 76% free throw shooter.
That was nice. That was really nice, Katie Hossider. Excellent penetration dribble.
It's her 7th point of the ball game. Also into the ball game for the Okawville Lady Rockets is Aaron Schubert, number 30, entered at that last free throw. Again, that skip pass long to Ryan this time. Boy, there is just not much space. Everywhere you look, there's a white jerseyed player.
Right.
Oh, nice drive.
And that's what they need to do. Dribble penetration, put themselves in a position to make the defense react so that they could get in and score. But they have to get in and do some rebounding as well.
Running a little bit of a movement out front. Kuhn with it. Nice draw and dip. And this time, Amy Albers just a little short. Leidens with it.
That high post position is open. They need to fill that.
Rachel
Great
Schlape.
positioning on defense.
And she's taking great shots. They just won't fall in one shot and out. Nice. There we go again with Hossider, and this time she's going to be fouled, I believe, by Kading. Stacy Kading's going to pick up.
Yeah, Stacy.
Her second foul, I believe. And put Hossider on the line. Her first foul, and you see the score.
It's really kind of interesting because when I had talked to Coach Lantner, she said, we're going to have to stop their perimeter. And you know what? She's done that. And in the day and age where man-to-man seems to be such a presence, and matchup defenses and combination defenses seem to be so important and critical, she's just shown a very simple 1-3-1, throws in a 2-3 on occasion with some great aggressive arms and hand movement.
You know, and I think this kind of talks about something that the Hampshire coach, Milt Awe, talked about. You know, his team came down here last year, their first time down. They got caught up in all the hype. And Okawville's not going to get caught up in all the hype. Iroquois West, the first time the schools come down, there's a lot, as you know, as a coach, that goes on behind the scenes.
A lot of glamour. And it's very difficult to play in this arena.
It's a lot of pressure. You know, you're 15, 16. We've got a lot of freshmen out here. In fact, just ending the ball game for Okawville's number 31, Tiffany Bloomhurst. At the line, shooting 2, is Erin Schubert. Erin's a sophomore. And nails the first.
She uses her bench very, very well, Coach Lantner. Does a great job. Calm. But you know what? I tell you, if I was here and had a 20-point lead, I'd be sitting back, relaxed, watching the game too. Look at that hustle. Now you're up by 20, and she dives out of bounds, and that's the difference.
Why you're up by 20.
Exactly. That's the difference.
But Iroquois West has been down all through this tournament. They've been down and down and down.
Super sectionals.
Absolutely.
Down by 11.
And that's what brought them. They're the second half team. They're slow starting. He was worried that they would start a little slower, and I'm sure it's a little slower than he'd hoped. But don't count them out. Just because it's 20 at this point, runs are the key to the game, and you can start one anytime somebody decides to do something that psychs up her team. Good defense tends to make that a little bit difficult. And again, there's just no room
Erin
in there.
Schubert was all over that. She was inside, outside, double team. Great defense.
Schlafe to Kit from out of bounds. They can run something out of bounds inside. Oh, it's going to be yours,
To me.
Bernie.
Doggone it.
You had it, Coach. I saw it. A 38-18 lead with 1 minute left in the first half. Third quarterfinal game. Chicago Hope, the #1 seed throughout the year, survived a scare by a wonderful Riverton Hawks team, previously undefeated, and 33 points by Devin Flanagan. Almost a superhuman effort earlier. And in the second quarterfinal game, it was another 3-point ball game. Both ball games came down to last-second shots, and it was Hampshire coming out on top against St. Teresa of Decatur. Whoa, body contact. This one's going to go against Erin Schubert.
Right now, I think the Rockets have 2 sophomores, a freshman, a junior, and 1 senior out on the floor.
You know, Bernie, if
state
you're an
tournament.
opposing coach and you're looking at this, they're down on the state floor. They only have 1 senior that starts. You could be going,
I were in their
another
conference,
dynasty in the making.
yes. It's very, very impressive.
Lindsey Ryan. Iroquois West is working so hard. They just cannot get anything to fall. Back of the rim, front of the rim. It's just maybe the second half with the other basket, it can prove a little more porous for them.
Well, I think, you know, Coach Meyer will go inside at halftime, and he's a great X and O man. And he knows just what to tell them. Like you said before, they've been behind.
Absolutely. Inside, nice bucket. Carries.
I will say
Erin
that
Schubert.
he said that they were not behind at halftime except for the last 2 games and then 1 game throughout the season. So that was a concern of his. Ooh. I
Kuhn.
like her.
I do too.
Kuhn, she's all over the place. She works hard.
I talked to her yesterday in the stand. She's funny too. You got 30 seconds to go. You got to put it up, and Schlafe does. Oh, right Rachel Slade, that may be a huge
That
bucket.
might be the shot in the arm that they need.
Rachel Slade with the 3 from the corner just as the buzzer sounds, and that has got to help her Lady Raiders as they go into Iroquois West. You see her carrying the water bottles. I guess she does everything.
Does a little bit of it all.
40-21, the second quarter score. As you look at that last bucket, goes for 3, and finally she says, my gosh, what have I got to do to make that one fall? And with 1/2 in the books, let's go see what our friend Jim Albrecht is doing. Jim?
Well, we have a very satisfied coach here, Kathy Latner. What do you think of the first half in terms of your defense? It seemed like you were altering shots the entire 16 minutes.
Well, I thought we played pretty good defense, and that's been our strategy all year. Contest passes, contest shots. That disappointed me that we let her have an open shot there at the end. She's too good of a shooter, but overall, I thought our bench came in and did a very nice job for us, got us some points, and Kristen Beaning came in and hit 3 threes for us, and we're playing pretty well.
Are you sure Jill Wolf is a freshman? Do we have to check any books or anything?
She's a true freshman, believe me.
Now, you have a pretty young team. Had a tough start, lost early, but gelled as the season progressed.
Right. Jill came a long way during the season, and we lost Katie Hossider, but we became a better team because of it, and when she came back into the lineup, we started gelling and started rolling.
Hoshiders and your team, it's always been around.
A nice combination, isn't it?
Kathy, we'll let you get to the locker room.
Thank you.
We are back at Redbird Arena after these network messages. Game 3 of the quarterfinals going the way of Okawville, but we still have another half to play, and a man who hopes that his team turns it around, Iroquois West principal Kim Hawkins. Kim, I know you've had a great season, and that you can't take away no matter what the last 16 minutes hold.
No, it's very seldom you win 30 games in a year, and it's the first time that Iroquois West has done that, and it's something to be proud about.
This coach Hans Meyer, he's kind of part of the landscape, isn't he?
Yes, coached at Crescent Iroquois for several years and made it to the state in '92, and started our program off pretty good, and we're doing very well the last 3 or 4 years.
Now, you've seen it all. You've been around like me. Can you believe what going to state does to a high school?
No, it's great. The spirit at school has been good all year, but of course it's even better this week. Where boys are playing tonight, should be starting here pretty quick in the regionals back at our place. So our crowd's a little split tonight, but we're hoping for the best.
Well, Kim, we wish you the best, continued success no matter what the score. Got a great school going.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Now let's turn our attention to Okawville principal. Of course, Donna Crunwell is with me. And Donna, tell me about this area that makes up Okawville. How big of an area is it? I know it's 3 towns.
We're a small town, about 1,300 people. We only have 2 high schools in the entire county. And the other one's Nashville, and they had a good team this year too. So we were just glad that we're here instead of them. Last year it was the opposite.
So do Okawville fans get spoiled by all these state appearances and 2 state champions?
Well, let's just say it becomes a very nice tradition, and we hope we're up here again next year, and we hope it goes well for the girls tonight.
When you have a successful head coach like Kathy Lancer, how do you keep her? How do you keep her so long? Does she just love being there? Why?
Well, I think partly it's the support that she gets from the community. The girls are just adamant about playing basketball. She's got talent to work with. The community supports her, the school supports her, the administration, the school board, and so far we've been lucky enough to keep her.
So when somebody in Okawville sees one of the girls and calls her a gym rat, that's like a compliment, right?
Yes. Our little girls down in the grade school will get autographs from the high school girls at games.
And do the high school girls take that responsibility? Do they try to pass on the baton?
Well, up until this year, 2 years before this year, we could not even get enough girls to try out for junior high cheerleading because they were all going out for basketball. This year we managed to get a few, but the emphasis, of course, is still on the participation in basketball.
Donna, thank you so much for stopping by. Continued success at Okawville.
All right, thank you very much.
It's all Okawville in Game 3 of the quarterfinals. We're back with more after these local messages.
Well, there you have the score, 40-21. Okawville in charge right now, but we know that Iroquois West isn't 31-2 for nothing.
Well, I tell you what, if we remember part of the keys for the game, Okawville said we have to stop their perimeter, and they have. They've stopped them dead in their tracks. They're struggling with their scoring. I think that's a big key. Also, I think what's really an issue is the fact that he wanted to hold his opponent to 30% shooting percentage, and they're shooting 63%.
Well, they're not needing many rebounds as well. Let's take a look at those stats, though, for the first half. Anything stand out, Bernie?
Well, I think the big thing for me would be the field goal percentage for Okawville. 14 for 22, free throws 9 for 13. You can't plan it any better than that, and that's all balanced scoring. She has 4 or 5 people that's actually contributing. Rebounds are the same. Turnovers aren't up there, but there have been some key turnovers. There you go. The key turnovers, I think, for Iroquois West were really at critical times when then they would foul after that turnover, and then take a look at the assists also, which makes a big difference because they're playmaking.
You look at those fouls too, they're even, but the key part is that 2 have 3 fouls for Iroquois West, which is a problem.
Right, and some balanced scoring. You know, Coach Lantner says I have 2 6-footers, let's use them, and well, Wolf's doing the job. Barnpool is making her presence, but the big surprise was Benning off the bench. Boom, 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 3 shots, 3-pointers. That was a great contribution off the bench. I can't imagine who wouldn't want that.
I guess so. Benning from 3, and it didn't matter where she went. You just put her hands up so that I can make them wherever you want. Well, there you have it. We'll be back with more right after this local break.
Back at Redbird Arena, Iroquois West needs to find some answers. We are standing by with head coach Hans Meyer of Iroquois West, and figuring out that zone of Okawville is kind of like a 3-year-old figuring out algebra.
Well, we just need to move the ball, and we need to move ourselves. We got to split what we got to do is we got to split the creases. We got to get the ball through the elbows, and we got to get the ball into the lane. And from there, I think we can make some passes, but defensively is where we got to do the job. We got to do a better job denying their big people inside, and we're just going to have to out-hustle them. That's the only thing we got right now. We got to out-hustle them, outwork them.
Can you go man-to-man against them?
Well, we're going to have to. We don't have much choice. If they're outside shooting, we've got to guard everybody. So, you know, we just can't sag in anymore. We've got to go out and go after them.
30 wins, great season. What'd you say at halftime? Upbeat?
Hey, I said we just have to outwork them. I said they're beating us in little things. They're beating us down the court. They're beating us to the basket. They're beating us to the ball. We do those 3 things. We beat them to the ball. We beat them to the basket. We beat them to the spot on the floor. That's 3 things we've got them. I said those little things add up to the big thing.
Hans, have a good second half. Let's go back to Ann Bernie.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Good job, and nice talking with Hans. And and one of the things that he's very calm. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the first half. It was primarily Okawville late. Nice drive on the baseline. And bucket for Iroquois West. This is early in the ball game, and there you see Schleif with the 3-pointer right at the end of the ball game. That was huge for them. Inside is taken away. That's pretty much typical of Okawville's play today. They're very, very aggressive. You saw Kuhn Hossider, nice look down to the not-so-freshman like Jill Wolf, who has just been terrific here. Inside nicely, number 30, that's Carrie Sebring in with the trees, and outside again, Schleif, and it's good. Rachel Schleif was quiet through a huge part of the game, but that last bucket, the 3-pointer, has to help. And there's Benning with all her threes. I tell you what, that kid just puts them up from anywhere. Well, it's Okawville 40-21 Iroquois West, and we'll be back with second half action right after this local break.
I love my job because I get to work with people. I totally consider my clients friends. I appreciate it when they actually ask me over for dinner.
I feel if you don't know a person personally, then how do you know what insurance they're really going to need?
We are real people. We all have the same goals, we have the same ambitions, and some of the same fears.
We definitely think of the client in personal terms.
When they trust you and they like you and you've helped them, it makes me feel great.
This is my country.
Call me anytime.
Well, the big news right now is we've got both players that have 3 fouls back in the ball game. So Hansmeyer is going with his starters, even though Cultra and Sebring have 3. And let's see if they can get into those creases that he talked about with Jim Albrecht.
And Okawville has some foul trouble too, so it'll be interesting.
Right away, that's a different move.
That's good. And you know, how did they do it? Guard to guard and then a baseline attack, and that's exactly what he needs to do.
Quick 2 by Cultra, who's been rather quiet in the first half. She had 4 points, but they were real early. And she's been a key to the glue to this team, along with Schleif.
Defense looks a little bit more intense.
Well, he wanted to come in man-to-man when he came out, and he did.
You know, and as a coach, you tell them, listen, we've got to score right away, and we've got to have a big defensive stop and get the ball back, and that's exactly what they did.
Hitting goes to Schleif. Again, that cross-court pass. They're pretty efficient at that, even though it's a big zone. And again, nice left-handed hook, half hook, basically. Off a little bit.
Quick foul. Who's it on?
It's going to stay here with Iroquois West, so that's good news for the Raiders.
Might be Wolf's.
It is Wolf.
3rd.
That's her 3rd. So a lot of people with 3 fouls.
Close call.
And tip. Oh, saved by Katie. That would have been a turnover you don't want to start out the second half with.
She has to square up when she gets that ball down there. When you get the ball down low, square up and see what you have. Don't be intimidated just by size.
Took that left-handed dribble looking for Lydens on the bounce pass.
She has to be able to square up and look for an opportunity to score.
Well, and she did that first time. There she is on the baseline. As you look at Hansmeyer, I think he's a little bit pleased, but we're also looking at the 4th game tonight, Pana versus Carthage. Pana making their 2nd appearance, and Carthage is a bit of a history here. The Blue Girls, that will be our final quarterfinal game, the final slot to be filled for the 2nd semi tomorrow. 17-point deficit. Iroquois West came out with a man-to-man, penetrating inside.
Pass.
Nice dish. There's
Boy,
one.
Janelle Kuhn, she did all that. She, you know, split the seams, attacked the defense. And as soon as there she goes, and now she's got a field goal, and it's good. I loved it. That was great. That was great. She is dynamite. She is all over the floor.
And she doesn't start, but boy, what a perfect player to bring
bench
in.
player.
Oh,
Boy.
Just a sophomore. Cultra on the left side. That zone is really stacked, and they're fronting Wolf. He's got a size advantage in there, but they're playing a nice job. Oh.
Moving a little too quick before you had both hands on the ball.
Boy, Sebring's posting up well down there. For her size, she posts up very well. It's just such a size differential against Wolf. There's Kuhn again. And jumper in the lane.
Yes. She's 5'9", but that was a nice 6-foot jump shot.
Very smooth.
Yes.
You know,
very calm, very patient, very poised.
She reminds me a little with the hair, I think, of Ashley Pistorius.
Yes, I was going to say that. She does. Ashley Pistorius, the first-team All-Stater from University High School. Excellent basketball player.
Yes, she is. Just a junior as well, with Wolf with another bucket. Those are high percentage shots, Coach.
Well, you know, pound it inside. If you have a 6-footer, use her.
Well, and they're kind of nice. They can go a high-low with it, with both of the big kids out there. And ball off the back.
They even, when they get positioned for rebounding, they even, you know, spread their wings, so to speak. They take up such space, even, you know, when they aren't defending. That's critical.
Hossider brings it up against Ryan, and high to Barnpool. Barnpool looks, she just holds it overhead. Now Wolf outside. Good movement for the big players, and going baseline is Albers. Now to Kuhn. Good movement without the ball by Okawville. Middle's wide open. Barnpool fills it. The man is definitely different. At Hossider, as they really haven't done a whole lot against it other than move. I don't see a lot of picks.
No, it's basically what we call offensive change of direction. A good flex offense without
good defensive play by Cultra. They have the advantage. Nice fake. Takes it to the hole. And outside, Schleif. Short. That is not a typical Rachel Schleif shooting percentage. Nice look by Hossider off the hands of Wolf.
One of the things that I always talk about is stay on the floor, stay grounded. Don't pass over the air.
Well, it's a 21-point lead for Okawville, 46-25. We'll be back after this local message. There you see some of the excited fans here. Those look to be the Raiders of Iroquois West. Their team may be down, but they are celebrating the experience here at Redbird Arena and March Madness in Illinois.
Best basketball around.
Absolutely. You and I have been part of this for a long time, and it just gets better and better. This place is rocking. Look at the kids. There's Okawville with the beat to the music.
Everybody's having a good time.
You know,
Kids,
they said they were
moms,
dancers
dads,
and
grandma.
musicians.
Yeah.
And I guess their fans are too. Yeah, it's a family affair here, and that's one of the best parts about Class A basketball. Everybody's involved, the community.
Change of defense here for Okawville. They're in a 2-3.
Hossider tries
to go.
And it's Barnpool with it. Got Kuhn with her, takes it all the way and off the rim.
You know, I was just going to talk to you about, she's kind of been quiet, Barnpool has. And she scored, what, the first 2 or 3 baskets in the game, didn't she?
She did.
And but that's okay, you know, if you could be quiet and have your teammates do all the scoring and, you know, share the wealth, so to speak. I don't think she minds that, as long as you have that 20-point lead.
No, you know, and we highlighted her as a key player, and she certainly came out. The lefty puts up the free throw off the back of the rim, but what she realizes in the rest of her teammates is this is a very, very deep team.
Yes, yes.
One player comes in and you hardly notice the difference. That foul was a big one because it was the 4th on Brooke Cultra of Iroquois West.
I mean, you talk about depth. She's played 10 players already in a quarterfinal game.
Cultra's having to stay in with 4 fouls. Nice job by Brooke Cultra.
That was a nice crossover, a good solid attack to the basket.
That's her 8th point of the ball game. Oh, off the top. Sebring tried for it, can't get there. Inside to Wolf. Oh,
she's going to have to get in front of her on that post defense. I think she's just a little concerned possibly with that 4th foul and everything. She doesn't want to, you know, get that 5th foul. She doesn't want to get out of the game.
Well, I'm not sure they're going to put it against Wolf, too, in that inside post position. Schleif off the back of the rim. Everything wide. You talk about spreading your wings. You are absolutely right. Ryan might be able to take that shot at the top of the key. She's penetrating just a little deep against the length and breadth of the ladies in white.
And it just seems like they're rushing some of their perimeter shots. They're just not falling for whatever reason.
Slowing it down a little bit, Hossider, who's done a great job of being the general here today. 3rd quarter, 3 minutes to go. And Iroquois West trying to climb out of a 21-point deficit. They've had a little bit of trouble before the half, couldn't find the bottom of the basket. Started out well here in the 2nd half, but just can't put a string together.
But now, see, the ball was passed to the right side, and all 4 of her teammates were on weak side, and she had nobody to give the ball to, nothing. No, there was nothing generated offensively, and that's what they're really trying to find, that opening.
Out of bounds underneath, but nowhere to go, so it goes right back to the out of bounds trigger. Schleif. Ryan hasn't shown an interest in taking that. Nice little
nice
had the shot. Ryan takes it now. I thought Schmid should have taken that one. She's definitely had a good ball game here. In fact, she's their leading scorer, and she came off the bench. Declined that one. In the man-to-man, Iroquois West right down the middle. Hossider gives off to Barnpool, and you said she's been quiet.
There you go. That was a great move to the basket. And Katie Hossider, you know, you can't tell if she's left-handed or right-handed. She dribbles so well with both hands. You know, she draws the defense to the right, and then she just crosses over to the left, uses her left hand, and dishes off. Barn pull, head up, nice solid drive to the basket. Good drop step to the basket.
That foul's called on Lindsey Ryan, her first, and now we're going to get a foul.
I think Barn pull wants back into the action.
That's going to go against Kara Sebring, and that's big. So Coulter and Sebring, both for Iroquois West, have 4 fouls as you look at the definite difference in field goal percentage. 69% for the ball game.
And he wants to keep them under 30. And that's been very difficult.
When you shoot almost 70, it almost doesn't matter.
Correct. And it's been a combination of things. It hasn't been just, you know, their offense or transition. I mean, it's been all the above. Their
Absolutely.
ability to pass, their ability to penetrate, their ability to find the open player.
They put the total package on the floor here today. Schmid went for the shot that time, came up a little bit short. Now we get a full court pressure, but with the speed of Hossider, it doesn't matter. She stops and pops. Rebounded by Coulter. She'll go the other way down the left side. 1 on 3. And there's
nice
Kuhn.
move, Kuhn.
Erica Lydens returns for the Raiders and is going to give Coulter a rest with those 4 fouls.
Struggling to get the ball inbounded. That's going to be a 5. She's going to get in quick.
They're so big on the out of bounds. Turns, shoots. Schmid unable to connect, but they retain possession. And into the Raider lineup, number 20, Michelle Kading. That's the sister of Stacy Kading. Michelle's a sophomore. Got a little problem over at the scorer's table, trying to iron it out with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Ann Penstone along with Bernie Charrow. 50-27 Okawville, third quarterfinal game. Chicago Hope and Hampshire are both into the first semifinal, blocked by Wolf.
Nice job. Freshman, right.
Yeah. Check that certificate.
Nice pass. And again, the presence. She knew exactly where she was going to be. Post player knew exactly how to post up. He wants to talk about it.
Timeout, Iroquois West. 52-27 Okawville. And Hans Meyer wants to give his charges a couple other things to think about while they've still got part of this third quarter. They need a run.
I think right now, you know, one of the big things is to not be discouraged. Come out and leave it all on the floor.
Absolutely. You don't want to be discouraged. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's an outstanding team, and they'll come back. And whether it's this year or next year, they're a team to be reckoned with. And the first time you come, it's terrific. There's a look at the quarterfinal games earlier today in quarterfinal game number 1. A terrific game. Hope came out smoking early. Riverton just 33-0, first loss of the year, and this unbelievable performance by Devin Flanagan.
Down to the last shot.
And Hampshire had a very, very difficult, the last quarterfinal game last year, wanted to prove that that was an anomaly, and they certainly did today, taking Decatur St. Teresa, who had knocked off T-Town, who had ranked second most of the year, so it earned their way here as well. That ought to be a great semi tomorrow. And up tonight, we've got one more game for you. If you're enjoying this one, we hope that you'll stay with us for Pana and Carthage. Approximately 8 p.m. in that game, and that will be the final ticket punch for tomorrow's semifinals. They'll play the winner of this game, who right now looks to be Okawville.
I would think so. I mean, at this point in time, you know, you don't want to be negative or, you know, tell the girls, give it the best you got. And, you know, every shot is critical now. You still have an entire quarter to play, and, you know, a lot can happen in the quarter. But he did say that they have to be leading in the fourth quarter in order for them to really feel comfortable about winning this game. He didn't want to be in this position at all.
That foul is called on Amy Albers, number 42. Both teams with 3 fouls in the second half. We've certainly lightened up on that, as you see Kathy Lanter. 17 years, both she and Hans Meyer have coached. As we get a foul underneath. And she doesn't like that one. It's like, what are we fouling for? think about it. You can almost read us. We got to get the pass. And on the line is Erica Leidens, who will be shooting 2.
2 shots.
She missed her first 2 earlier. Let's see if she can these. Yeah, just a little bit short.
Now you can't afford to miss those. You know, when the clock stops and you're at the line and you're down, take your time and put them in. There you
heard
go.
you, Coach.
There you go.
Hands that one. Their 3rd point of the ball game. Nice down court pass. Good eyes by Hossider, who sees everything on the floor. Plays just like a senior point guard.
She should have. She wants to talk about it. She's come here. Let me tell you something.
That was good. Come here. I'm going to tell you all about it.
Iroquois West foul, number 20, Michelle Katie.
And that's great. A senior talking to a freshman, another freshman, giving her some advice.
And that's what you want. I mean, you've got one senior, and it was really interesting hearing her interview. She talked very much about her change in role, as we have number 42, Amy Albers, at the line. She's the last of a long line of Hossiders. There have been several girls and been intertwined with the history of Okawville basketball.
And we have Beth Hossider, who is the coach at Illinois Wesleyan University, women's softball.
Well, you know, they just can't get away from you. You got those big families, and they go away. I think Kathy Lander's probably pretty sad. This is the last
pass,
one.
Katie.
Barn pole's not quiet anymore.
And Katie saw her. She didn't have to pass half court for that. And this isn't the time that they should be able to get away with this transition.
Oh,
there
nice.
you go. That was a nice steal. Got to score on that, though.
Just can't buy it. I tell you what, Erica Leiden's right underneath. She's trying to figure out what is wrong. Why can't the glass? Oh, there's a collision. That one hurt. I think that was knee to knee. I think she's grinning, but I think that hurt.
I hope she's grinning.
I hope she is too. We're going to get some medical attention. We have a great group of trainers here from Illinois State University happening.
She says, "Get off! I don't want you out here, Coach.
Because if you come out, I can't play."
I've got to get out. Yeah, it definitely was knee to knee, and then I think she bent it a little bit. And
she's tough. That hurts, boy.
Well, you know, I'm not sure if they have to sub her out because, you know, she was called onto the floor. So
you bring the 3-point wonder in here, Kristen Benning, who is just nothing but net from 3-point range here. I think they do have to sub her because of the time it took to check on her injury. We're glad she's okay.
Right.
Benning, a junior.
Bethany's like, "Now, doggone it, Coach, come on."
I just get going, and now you take me. I'm all right. I'm all right. Oh, nice look by Kuhn to Hossider. This time she's on the receiving end.
And that's fun when you could get the assist, you know, leader to get into the scoring.
Rachel Schleif, who ended the first half with a 3, just puts up her first points of the second half. If she could get on a string of those, it would sure help. Tipped away, and there's a big defensive stop. See if they can capitalize. Down the middle is Schleif. She's going to take it by herself, kicks it out. Schmid takes the jumper. Got away with a foul, I think, there.
And there's the dribble penetration isn't working for them against the zone.
And there's the end of the third quarter. 57-21 Okawville. And we'll be back with the final quarter of this quarterfinal action.
I mean, our community has come together and supported us 110%, and that's awesome. We have big crowds at games, and that's like the first time ever for girls to have crowds like we have this year.
The Okawville Lady Rockets, the fans celebrating the stands. They're a little bit of a quarter early, but they certainly have a lot to cheer about here after 3 quarters. Their team up 57-31. You look about a little bit sadder Raider fan. But that's why we play the 4th quarter, and the Raiders are cheering their team on as Rachel Schleif is right in front of us. She canned a 3 right before we went to the end of this 3rd quarter, and I know she'd like to grab a couple more. Inbounds it to Kading, Stacy Kading, a junior guard, and Rachel's on the right side against that double team. Kicks it out to Coulter, who's back into the ball game for the Raiders.
I can't say enough about the defense, though, that they're having to face. It's extremely difficult to explain. You know, it's right in front of us, and we could see how much presence the defense has out on the floor.
As tall as they are, they make themselves so big, and they move their feet very well.
Nice pass.
Sebring inside.
But again, you know, that was a partially blocked shot.
They have their hand on just about every ball that goes up. There's nothing easy. Everything's contested. Albers, and it's good.
Basket by 32, Aaron
Albers had an excellent pull-up jumper.
Very smooth, tipped away by Hossider, recovered by Katie. Now she's double teamed. The pressure's relentless. Kuhn picks up that foul. It's her second and the 5th on the team in this half as Kading brings it up the top against it, penetrates it. They're finding the seams, getting it inside. Leiden's unable to go against the tree. The presence of Jill Wolf there.
You know, I mean, she's amazing. She takes up so much of the area, and then they put up one shot, and they're not getting any offensive boards.
Barnpool kind of looks at Hossider and goes, you know, that knee was a little tough. Looking at that knee, that's where she was taken out a little bit.
And we heard it. We heard it.
You hear the thud as she hits the floor.
Tough. She's tough.
She's at for 2 shots, the lefty. Barnpool off the rim.
She'll be icing up those knees tonight. The hotel.
Never hurts when you win, right, Coach?
No.
Until later, anyway.
Losing hurts more than winning ever felt good. That was my favorite quote.
I like that. I like that. Sinks the second of 2. 60-31. And inside.
And their hands, another loose ball touch.
Active hands.
And they're up by 30. Nobody's relaxing.
Well, I think that shows the respect they have for Iroquois West. They know this is a team that's 31-2 for good reason, and they're not going to give them a chance to get back in this ball game. It means way too much, and they respect them too much.
Kuhn wants that ball. It was a great post-up. Give me the ball.
Now, this team, when I talked to them in the stands, they're very, very superstitious. Kuhn says that she has the exact same meal for every ball game. Has to do with DQ. We didn't go into details, but she goes to DQ.
Well, we have one in Bloomington Normal. In fact, we have 2, so she'll be able to find that tomorrow, hopefully.
I'm sure she did it before today. You're right, this zone is just huge. I like Jim Albrecht's comment. There's a 3 by Schley. It's her second 3 of the half, 3rd of the ball game. Katie playing catch-up to Hossider. They move so well without the ball, Bernie.
Yes, they do. I mean, it's like clockwork.
Very well drilled. Obviously, Kathy Lander's an outstanding coach. Oh, tough shots. Fall away.
It's an excellent jump shot.
They have all cylinders going here this evening. And that pressure defense at the top. Hands. Tipped twice before it ever got over to Katie.
Look at that. Feet.
Nice. That is the easiest bucket they've had probably this game.
Long time, yes.
And it was well executed, but it's just so difficult. And that's a compliment to the defense.
Katie Hossider's struggling a little bit. She needs what we call a breather.
Barnpool,
a bit of time.
They may take her out and just rest her, because every time she's on the floor, that right knee's down there. Everybody's giving each other a pat the bat. Erica Leiden's last one up. Looking a little sore.
I think, has Katie been out yet? She's the only one that's not come off the floor.
No, she stayed on the floor.
That's what seniors are for, though.
Absolutely.
You know, you'd like to keep those seniors in the game.
Back in the ball game is Caitlin Lake, 5'6" junior.
With 3 people triple teaming the ball.
Lake with the left-hand dribble looking. They look so well. They're always looking up the floor. That's one of the things you just love to see.
Yes, as a coach, we tell the kids that all the time. Keep your head up. Always look at the basket. Then you can see everybody else.
Lake looking at Hossider. She killed the dribble. Barnpool still in there, and again on the floor. Stolen by the Raiders. Down 4-on-4. Schleif, they want her to shoot, and it's off the rim, but controlled. Sebring hustles after it, and back to Schleif. Culture, kill the dribble. That was tough. Take that shot, swings it. Katie will take it.
She was fouled on that shot.
Doesn't count unless the whistle blows.
I know. Just trying to help her
There.
out a little bit.
Nice cross. Oh, great play by Schlave.
That's
All right.
okay.
She is so gassed, though.
Yeah.
You can see her trying so hard. Took everything she had to get up the floor to block that. It was a terrific individual effort.
They're all looking a little tired.
Schlave with another three. Good for her. Rachel Schlave with her 4th tray of the ball game, and we're going to get a timeout called by Okawville. Kathy Landry says, hey, can't let her sit out there. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick. The copyrighted broadcast is presented for the exclusive entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association and KOST broadcast sales is strictly prohibited. The Okawville Lady Rockets celebrating with their younger fans in the stands. I think they're a little excited there, Bernie.
I think that's fun. You know, all types of support for girls basketball.
You know, the first time you ever bring a school to any event at the state tournament, think about this. Iroquois West had never been to anything past a regional in any sport.
Right.
So their celebration.
I mean, this, you know, until you've taken a team here, you don't know what it's like. It's a whole different world because the community buys into it, the community supports it.
And then, you know, the young kids buy into it and the young kids support it. And then all of a sudden you have a program.
And then you have a perennial power, and then you have a tradition. As Hossider quickly, cherry picks.
Bounce play. That's, you know, that's a sign of a great coach. She uses her timeout. Kathy comes out.
It was an excellent sideline out of bounds play and scores.
Oh, nice job. Lindsay Ryan right down the middle. Hossider back down the middle. She's looking for an open. She's got Jill again and continues the dribble. Comes back out. It's 64-41. 3rd quarterfinal game. Ann Penster along with Bernie Chero. Okawville in charge and kicks down to Barnpool, who puts up the lefty. Easy bucket, banks it in.
That was a nice assist by Katie.
Katie Hossider is just such a great presence. She has controlled this ball game. I don't know how many assists she's got, but everybody ought to be buying her dinner.
Yeah. 8 assists. And, you know, in my mind, she has more than that because she does so much more.
I was going to say, those may be official in the books, but what she's done, controlling, like you said, bringing younger players, calling them over, making sure they know what to do, and learning on every play. She's a coach on the floor.
Yes.
That ball tipped away, but recovered. Everything seemed to be going Okawville's way. Oh, and hustle now, Lindsay Ryan. Oh, on the line. Great hustle by Lindsay Ryan, number 40. Unable to control it, but the effort was outstanding. 2:28 left to play in this ball game for a chance in the semifinal 2nd game and a chance at some hardware.
This is what you want to do. You want to come here and win that first game.
You know, Bernie, you mentioned the first time you come, you brought 3 teams here, 3 in a row.
Right, right.
Did they get easier as far as the experience?
It's been so long. No, I'm just kidding. You know, I for the coach, I think it does, but for the kids, I think it's a little bit more pressure because you always want to get one up from the last time you were here. But just coming here once and then getting to come back is it's a lot easier because you know what to expect.
Well, in your case, you know, sometimes you'll bring one year and then 3 years later it'll be that kind of thing. To bring them 3 in a row gives you a chance to possibly have had the same players, which is a little bit more unique and experience. At the line is number 34, Caitlin Lake, 5'6" junior. A little conversation at the table. Kathy still coaching, and as you mentioned, you do not get here 6 times and win 2 state championships.
She does, you know, so much right for the community and the program. We're changing something here.
It seems like we're trying to figure out who either had the fountain. 14. Oh, that's huge. That's what we were waiting for. Brooke Paltra is going to be assessed her 5th foul, and that's going to disqualify. That's a toughie. Boy, they were hoping she could stay in. Brooke had a tremendous season. the 5'10" sophomore, the 14.8.
She'll be back.
She'll be back.
And everybody wants to see the replay on that. The crowd's going crazy. They're not happy with it.
Being consoled by the assistant coaches who play such a huge part. You know, that's something we haven't talked about. Assistant coaches who do so much of scouting, preparation.
Yes. You are only as strong as your staff. You could have great players and you can have mediocre players, but your staff and your feeder programs really make the difference.
How important is it to keep a consistent staff?
Very, very important. You know, your junior high program is critical because that's where it all starts. If your junior high coaches, you know, buy into your system and buy into your program and into your fundamental philosophy, that's very critical.
That foul's called on Barnpool, her 4th. So we've got a lot of people on the brink of elimination with fouls as we near the end of this ball game with 2 minutes to play, and that Erica Leiden sinks the free throw. That's kind of unusual to see a field goal and free throw average identical. Yes. She sinks the second, so she made a liar out of that one. Good for her. Hostage down, kicks it out. Staying in the man-to-man, and a very rare miscue by Katie.
I'm not so sure what he thought happened. Possibly she, you know, shifted her, you know, her feet, but.
Oh, nice by Lindsay Ryan, dribble and that
was a good rebound.
Couldn't convert, and we're going to get a foul.
The crowd wants a foul, but he's calling it out of bounds.
So it stays with the Raiders of Iroquois West. 66-43, Okawville with the lead with less than 2 to go. Nice drive by Schleif, who's had 4 3-pointers in the ball game. That one doesn't go. Triple team, drawing a crowd. Number 32, Erin Albers, and she's going to go to the foul line.
32, Jay Schmid.
Jay Schmid picks up her second.
A team foul on the Raiders this half. One in bonus situation.
One in the bonus now that we're into later stages of the second half. For Redbird Arena, it's the third quarterfinal game. 600+ teams started this tournament. 8 came down here, the Elite 8, and after tonight there will be a Final 4. Oh, Barnpool! I'm telling you,
Barnpool's going to get hurt. She needs to be careful.
Tell you what, playing hard's one thing, but you got to leave sunscreen for tomorrow. Oh, nice bucket, Erica Leidens. Ryan Hawking Hossider.
Still pushing the ball down the floor.
Absolutely. Wolf has been a little bit quiet of late. A little higher on the post-up. Oh, nice crossover dribble. Hossider doesn't go all the way she could have.
She likes this part. You can tell.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, come on.
We're spending the minutes here.
Let's go. We know what we got to do. And you know, it's almost, you know,
there's really no need to foul at this point in time in the game. You just work on your defense, try and stop the possession, but you really don't want to foul here, I don't think.
But you got to give them credit. There's the fight, Iroquois West, and we're going to get some subs in at the time. What a great gallant gesture by Hans Meyer, getting some of his subs into the ball game so they can have the experience down here on this floor as well. They've worked hard, whether you play in the games or not. It takes people to practice against.
Oh, yeah.
And that's nice. You see Erica Lyons asking for her teammates. They're still smiling over. They know that they have done a terrific job and made their mark for their school.
That's right.
See if we can get the names of the young ladies who have entered the ball game for Iroquois West. And we've got number 54. And that would be Courtney Zick. 33, Laura McElroy. And 35, Lindsay Blair. And 40, we're Chapel Tech, 44? 44, that's going to be Karen Wagner. Nice to see them getting in the ball game. Karen's a senior, Lindsay's a sophomore, Laura's a sophomore, and Courtney's a senior. So 2 of the seniors playing their last ball game, but boy, what a place to play it.
Absolutely. And still, Okawville's got arms up. Doesn't matter if they're subs or not. They're playing aggressive defense.
Kylie Chris took that shot in outside. Oh, we get a timeout by Lanter because she wants to get one of her players in as well.
She's subbing number 20.
Well, we're trying to figure out, they did call the timeout as we have time for some messages before we finish this one up. Here the Raiders giving their team the kudos that they deserve. You see the cowboy hats up. And coming up as well, our final matchup of the Elite Eight, Pana versus Carthage. Approximately 15 minutes after this one is over, as you see the stack on the inbounds play to Okawville, who is in command with 25 seconds to go and a 67-45 lead.
And they're still trying to delay, but somebody wants to score off the bench. They're trying to run that delay, but I know one of them wants to score off the bench.
And that was number 20 for Okawville. That's Nicole Heckert, a senior. The coach got her in the game. Nicole, they tried so hard to get her the ball and get her the score, put her in the record books, and stolen.
2 hands on the loose ball. That was wonderful.
Number 25, that's Holly McCauley, a junior.
A jump ball.
A jump ball.
A 1/10 of a second left. We know those whistles work now on that timer.
What we're talking about is the officials have connections on their waistbands that connect to the clock and the whistle, and there is no way to get that one off. Signal to half court. No good. The final score, 67-45. Okawville, as you see, Kathy Lanter look calmly, congratulate her players. Big smile as all of the Okawville Lady Rockets faces. Jill Wolf, what a game. She's a center. She plays like she's a college freshman.
I tell you what, I think she had to shoot about 88, 89% tonight.
There's one of the classy sportsmanship things, Hans Meyer shaking hands and with the principal. That's nice to see that happen as well. And all the players, as you see the white of Okawville walking off the floor, and a very, very relaxed and happy Kathy Lanter. Right there, her point guard, Hossider, who directed traffic all night long and certainly knew exactly what to do with it.
Well, I tell you what, I'd be very relaxed if I had contributions like she did.
Well, let's see what Jim Albrecht over on the sidelines can tell us about this game.
Kathy Lander and, of course, her star player, Jill Wolf, with me. Are there any easy games down here? I mean, the scoreboard looks easy, but is it?
No, it's never easy. I thought they were very scrappy. I thought they were well coached. They didn't give up. You know you were going to be in for a battle.
When you play a zone like that, I mean, it's nice to have height, but it's also great to have speed to get to the ball.
It is. Our zone's a little different. We'll trap on the baseline, we'll trap on the sideline, and then when you have this back there to kind of secure the lane, it helps a lot.
What will you do tomorrow as far as your routine? You've been here before. You've won 2 state championships. How do you keep everybody calm?
I try to make them go to bed early. I try. And then we'll eat breakfast. We'll come watch the first game and we'll come out ready to play, I hope.
Coach, thanks much. Let me talk to Jill here. Jill, Country Company's player of the game. Well, you're only a freshman, but you don't worry about sophomore, junior, and senior year. You're worried about tomorrow. How far have you come this year as a freshman?
I think I've come a long way. I wasn't real good in the beginning. I had to work a long way to get a starting position, and it's just our team is so together, and we all want to win and be successful.
Is it like having a general out there with Katie Harsheider? I mean, she seems to distribute the ball so well and knows where you are.
Yeah, she knows where everybody is. She always tries to get everybody the ball when they're open. It's just, I'm glad she's on our team.
What's more fun, blocking a shot or putting one down?
Both. I can't really pick.
Okay, Coach says she's going to try to make you guys go to bed early tonight. Is that even remotely possible?
Yes. Yeah, we try to go to bed so we have rest for the next day.
No HBO tonight?
No.
Okay, good luck tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
That is Jill Wolf, the Country Company's player of the game. Let's go over to Ann and Bernie. Ladies?
Thanks a lot, Jim. And you take a look at that young lady, what poise even in an interview.
You know, as soon as she handled the ball in the beginning of the game, I felt that she was very focused. She knew exactly what she wanted to do, get her team where it needed to be. 89% for a freshman in a state quarterfinal game. Wow.
Like she said, she's glad that Katie Hossider's on her team because that's who's giving the ball all day. There you have it, 67-45. Okawville over Iroquois West. And that's it for this ball game. We'll be back after this local messages. We got one more to go.
Okawville is in. Will Pana be in? Will Carthage be in into the Final Four for tomorrow? We're about to find out in a few minutes. Rob Dunham joins me now. Rob not only works at WCAZ in Carthage, he owns the darn place. Now let's talk about the feeder system at Carthage, because in small towns, that's the key. You're a 5th and 6th grade coach. You see it right there.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, I started out with the 5th and 6th grade girls. Both of my teams ended up 17-1 this year in our regular school season. Our 8th graders as 7th graders won the IHSA 7A tournament, came in 2nd this year in 8A, so we've got a lot of good players coming up through the program.
Now when you get a couple of state championships, what does that do if you're like an 8th grader or a 7th grader? I mean, is that just the motivation? That's it?
Absolutely. When you see not only our little girls, but our little boys with the football program, they're all running around in jerseys that say Hibbert on the back or Dickerson on the back, and it just brings them right to it. They really enjoy it. They work hard, and that's one of the main things. Whether it's 5th grade, 6th grade, right on up the line, you got a lot of hard-working girls in Carthage.
Rob, we'll let you get back to work on your radio station.
Thank you very much. We always have a great time here. The people at ISU at Redbird Arena always are open arms to us, and we love to come over here, especially when the Blue Girls are here.
Thanks much, sir. Let's turn our attention now to radio station WRAN in Shelbyville, where Lane Blickham joins us. Lane, you know a little bit about Pana. They got a shot tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely on a roll. They're playing some good basketball. Obviously, they've made it this far, so they've on a 15-game winning streak. They haven't lost since December back in the Charleston Holiday Tournament, and they kind of have a feel about them. They really feel that they're going to make it into the trophy round and maybe even bring home the big hardware.
Well, everybody who knows anything at all about Pana knows that Miss McMillan makes them roll. I mean, she's the key.
Yeah, she's got 20.5 points per game this year. She had 29 in the super sectional win over Columbia. Just an outstanding player inside. She's quick off the block. When she makes the catch, she goes quickly. She shoots the ball exceptionally well, around 62%, and she's just hard to handle. She's an excellent rebounder as well.
The Pana boys have made some noise in the past. What happens when the Pana girls hit state? What kind of noise goes on in the town?
Well, some confusion tonight because the boys are playing in the regional championship against Nokomis too. So the people had to decide where to go, and it looks like most of them have made the trip up here to Normal, and that's good to see. Girls basketball in Pana is very, very popular, as is boys basketball, but the girls basketball team is definitely, I think, the talk of the town tonight.
And one team, though, supports the other when they're not somewhere else around the state.
Oh, definitely. Coach Gary Boker of the Pana boys actually went on the radio the other day and said, go ahead and go to the girls game. We won't be offended. Go ahead and go up there and support the girls, because you never know when they might not make it back to state for a while. They haven't been here since '96. So yeah, it's good support. They back each other up very well, and they're all pulling for each other. We know that.
Wayne Bickham, thank you so much. We'll let you get back to your radio station.
Okay, thank you very much.
All righty, we're back with the start of Game 4 of the quarterfinals after these network messages. Well, they hope they're a Pana to Carthage tonight, and Pana principal Gail McRoberts joins me right now before the start of Game 4 on this quarterfinal Friday. Now, before we talk about tonight's game, let's go back 25 years. You know a little bit about girls basketball. You were on the team that set the state tournament record for rebounds in a game and rebounds in a tournament, and that record still holds. Do you care if it falls?
If it falls to Pana, that would be great. That's the only team I'll let take over our record.
Now, you played in that game 25 years ago in a state championship game. How hard was that? I mean, did it take a long time for you to get used to the fact that you didn't go home with number 1 and you had to settle for number 2?
It was kind of tough, but Lincoln is a basketball town, and we had great support, just like Pana is a great basketball town. But you get home and you did the best that you could, and we couldn't have asked for anything more.
What about this team? As far as the principal is concerned, does she try to stay out of the coach's way, or do you guys always talk basketball?
Oh, we always talk basketball, but actually I'm the biggest cheerleader of the team. You wait tonight, I'll be the one leading the cheers.
So they got a shot. I mean, what do you do during a game that you wouldn't do as a player? I mean, do you go walk around somewhere, maybe cross fingers? What do you do?
Actually, I keep my eye on my kids that are here at the game to make sure they don't embarrass me.
Gail, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the ball game.
No problem. Thank you.
Great rebounding, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, let's turn our attention to Principal Dan Lurie now. Dan, of course, with Carthage. What's the best part about being a principal besides the parking space?
Well, it's nice to get close enough you don't have to walk too far, but, it's just working with good young kids and
you know, we're really fortunate at Carthage. We've got some real good kids academically and athletically. We were here for the state football championship, Class 2A, and got second. And nice to have the girls come over here and be able to participate in the Elite 8 tournament here.
Dan, they talk about tradition, and everybody looks at records, but what does it feel like? I mean, tradition is something that you can't really see. Yeah, you can see the trophies, but it does something most people, unless they're a part of it, don't feel.
Well, it's that untangible, you know, the kids all know it's there, and nobody wants to be the one exactly to drop the ball, so to speak. And you know, they work hard through the summer, and you know, they, like I say, they want to keep the tradition going, and that's what's got them back here this year.
Now, Dick Beery, of course, the coach before Bill Lapp, won 2 state championships. Does he ever buy a cup of coffee in town, or does he pretty much get whatever he needs?
Well, he's on the lucky side of it now. He gets to go down and talk about how things used to be and how they should be. I'm sure that when he was coaching, there was that group that used to sit down at the coffee shop and talk about him too. But no, Dick's a good supporter of the program, and he got it off to a good start. He and Jerry Logan have been a big part of this years ago to get this thing off the ground, and it's carried on for him. And Coach Lapp's done a wonderful job with him.
Dan, our best to all the folks in Carthage. Enjoy the game.
Hey, thank you very much.
We'll be back at Redbird Arena after these local messages.